This week on X-Trex, dad killing clouds, roach fearing crowds. How many times are we going to mention bug dongs out loud?
It's the obsession episode.
Welcome to X-Trex, a podcast where we introduce each other to our fandoms one episode at a time. I'm your host, Erin Cline, an X-Files enthusiastic apologist.
And I'm your other host, Stella Cheeks, a forever slut for Star Trek the original series. Each podcast, we pick 2 episodes that fit a cinematic theme, watch them together, and then record our feelings.
Our theme this week is Obsession.
Our Star Trek episode today is aptly named Obsession, aka Moby Dick in Space, aka the one where Kirk almost destroys everything to get revenge on a white cloud. It's a surprisingly good Shatner episode, if a little on the nose. Cue, you broke your little ships line.
And for the X-Files this week, we're going really season 2 loose style on this one, but it's okay because this is actually the very last Darren Morgan episode. It's War of the Coprophages, or rather the one with the roaches. Do you vaguely remember a time in the 90s when people smashed their TVs for seemingly no reason? This episode was one of those reasons.
What?
Did you not see the bug?
Oh, that annoyed the hell out of me. We'll get to it.
Oh, you're not alone. All right, fantastic. Are you ready for digging in there, Mr. Spock?
I am.
You smell that? A sweet odor like honey.
Now for a quick-ish episode summary. The episode opens with Kirk and Spock on Argus 10 in front of a giant shiny rock. Kirk smacks it on the ass. Cue, you can fit so much tritanium into this bad boy meme. But before they can leave, Kirk smells an odor that sends him into a tizzy. He sends his security team to find the source, only dun dun dun, 2 of them die with all their hemoglobin gone. But one lives. Bone does a Bones and saves the boy, but Kirk is acting squirrely and makes Bones revive him for a moment to confirm his worst fear. The gaseous cloud that murdered the crew of his first ship is back. Scotty is like, hey, so are we going to go to Theta 7 now, to deliver that much needed antiviral they requested? And Kirk is like, no, we are going to hunt a cloud. Everybody shut up, shut up. Then he meets Ensign. I think in the episode they say like Garak, but in Garavik?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I heard different than what is written, but now you're saying what's written, so let's just say Garavik. The son of the very captain who died by cloud on the Farragut. Kirk acts like he's seen a ghost, but maybe a ghost can help him because Garavik has every reason just to be as obsessed as he is. Down on the planet, Garavik freezes when he sees the cloud, leading to 2 other red shirt deaths. Kirk is livid and relieves the ensign of duty. Bones and Bones and Spock are like, harsh much? And Kirk huffs out of the room. Spock and Bones discover that is exactly what happened to young Ensign Kirk, and Kirk blames himself for the death of 200 crewmen. They question his mental capacity to the captain's face, but are interrupted when Chekhov reports that the cloud creature is moving away from the planet. The chase begins. Kirk orders the Enterprise to chase at maximum warp, much to Scotty's ire, but they can't catch up, and the phaser doesn't work? Kirk eventually relents, but whoops, too late, the cloud is pissed and chasing them now. It kills a couple crewmen and goes for Garavik, but Spock intercedes, and they learn that the cloud doesn't like Spock's blood. Realizing that neither he nor Garavik could have harmed the creature, Kirk orders the ensign to return to duty. Hey, yeah, he got there eventually. After some dubious science, they realize that the creature is going to spawn, and if it does, it'll explode a bunch of shit. I don't know, I kind of glazed over during that part. Too long, didn't read. Kirk and Garavik beam down to the planet with an antimatter bomb where the cloud is gonna fuck or whatever. The crowd is like, oh great, these 2 dummies, and tries to envelop them, but before it does, Kirk and Garavik beam away and the bomb explodes, presumably annihilating the entity. They almost lose the captain when they beam aboard the Enterprise, but Erin's favorite rare pair are a hell of a transporter team. Kirk looks at Spock like he's a god. They flirt. Bones is annoyed, and everyone is happy, especially the people on Theta 7 who are going to get their goddamn vaccines. What did you think of this episode?
I like this one. I thought that Shatner did a lot of really good acting in this one. We've run into that a lot, and I've seen almost everything now, but this one particularly stood out as you can tell he has a lot of Shakespeare training.
Yeah, and this would be a good episode for people who are like, oh, he's such an overactor. You could be like, well, you should watch this one. There's actually a lot of really good subtle moments and
There's
him
a lot
having
of nuance.
Yeah, nuance, some internal conflict, his past and his present colliding. A lot of interpersonal drama and stuff too.
Yeah.
To be honest, I used to rewatch every episode before he did this, and then I became pregnant and didn't want to do that anymore.
Fair.
And so like my memory of this one was kind of like, oh, this one's fine. But rewatching it, I was like, oh, this one's pretty good, actually. I actually kind of like this episode.
Yeah, I liked this one a lot more than I was expecting to.
Yeah, because I keep being like, this one's mid, this one's mid, and then they turn out to be like pretty good.
Yeah, that at this point, I'm like, I don't know if we know what mid means at this point.
Well, I'm also not rewatching them now, so in my head, unless it's a piece of the action, they're all mid.
That's fair. That I suppose that's so fair.
Yeah, I think there's really good acting from him. I also think it's like shot really interesting. Mm-hmm. It's got some like frenetic nature to it. There are moments that almost have like a Blair Witch quality to it, like a shaky camera, and like, you know, you can almost feel like the camera is feeling what Kirk is feeling, that kind of frenetic energy. I don't know. I really like this. I also love his crew being like, ooh, we really, like he almost gets like knocked down from being captain. Like Bones, the only person on the ship who can do this, is about 5 seconds away from doing it. And then they're like, the cloud is chasing us or whatever. So they like go into crisis mode, but like Bones was ready to be like, yeah, you're on medical leave right now,
yeah,
bitch.
for real. To the point, even if he's right, still he's like acting really irrationally in order to get to the means to this end. Like, I thought it was an interesting way also to see how the whole crew reacts when the captain is like clearly losing his fucking mind.
Yeah. And this one is interesting too, because this one, obviously it pays off, and Kirk does have moments where he like kind of comes to his senses, like when Scotty's like, the ship is gonna explode, and he's like, okay, we can't be at that maximum warp, or like when he does realize he kind of fucked up with the ensign and things like that. So we do see him being really irrational, but then we see him come out the other side. Unlike the episode that this gets compared to a lot, both internally and externally, is the Doomsday Day Machine. I don't know if you remember that one. It was like this like sweaty admiral came on their ship and like made himself be in charge to chase that like tube thing.
Yes,
and
I do
he
remember
was
that.
so like Ahab white, like this is my white whale focused, that he couldn't listen to anybody else and didn't listen to anybody else. And like Kirk gets close to that, but like eventually does rely on his crew, rely on his instincts. So I do, even though you could make an argument that they're both very like Moby Dick style episodes, I do like that juxtaposition. And, you know, as somebody whose pedestal is, no, Kirk is actually a good captain, shut up and actually watch the show, this is a good example of that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's funny because I wrote down at one point that it's actually a fake OTP for me, because he's like, it's about the ship, and it's like, it's not about the ship. We all know that it's not about the ship, and that's okay.
Well, you could make an argument that it is about a ship. It's about his like first ship and his relationship to that ship. I also think that this is so fun, like not funny, haha, but like funny, interesting. We see the episode The Conscience of the King, and we learn that young Kirk lives through a genocide and a famine, horrific. And then we learn that his first mission in Starfleet, he is the lone survivor of a ship where 200 people die. Yeah. This young man has so much trauma.
For real.
It is remarkable that he is even of an eighth of like the like put together competent confidence that he is. Like,
yeah, I was thinking that when they were talking about the 200 people who died, it was like, really? Really? Like, damn, maybe it's you. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like you can, you know, face trauma in one of two ways. You can either like really learn from it and learn how to be a leader, or you can like lose your mind. And he did the latter, I guess, or the former.
You did a little bit of both.
Yeah. I do also really love, if you were watching this episode from a relationship standpoint, I love the Bones and Kirk dynamic. Like Bones immediately is like, it's us. Yeah. And I love the Spock and Kirk dynamic. Like Spock really like investigating, but like wanting to be on Kirk's side, but also like having this, for Spock, really interesting internal debate of like, I trust my captain and I trust Jim, but also what's my job? And then an interesting Bones and Spock like relationship, like kind of teaming up to do what's best for the ship, but kind of also what's best for like Kirk. And also like Christine and Bones, like also great, like Christine in this episode, which we haven't seen her in a minute.
No, it's been a minute since we've watched an episode with her. And not only was she in this, her hair looked incredible, first and foremost, but she had 2 really good scenes. I thought she did a fantastic job. It was great to see her again.
Yeah. I love that when we get to see non-bridge member crewmen be good at their jobs. Like, I think we talked about that in the last episode, how when that woman was coming on board and being like, I am for you, or whatever, like how good the crew reacted to it, like in engineering stuff. And yeah, like a couple of them died or whatever, but they had good protocol.
Yes.
Like they are it's very easy to think of the Enterprise as, the 6 people or whatever, but like it is the whole ship.
Right.
And I do think I like when we're reminded of that.
Yeah. I thought it was nice too to see like when they put the red alert on in the battle stations, like it was nice to watch everybody immediately. I like that all the doors open too. It feels like very true to that is what a red alert would actually be like.
Yeah, everybody up, everybody out.
Yep, absolutely. It doesn't matter what you did, doesn't matter if you're in the brig, get to your fucking stations unless you want to die. Like I thought that was a very, very good way to indicate that.
Yeah, I really like that.
I liked when he threw the bowl and they really, really got all up in the face of the
We have to
thing.
talk about Ensign Garofik and his dramatic flopping.
Yeah, there was a lot of super dramatic flopping from him. In like multiple directions at multiple times too. Like it was kind of a lot, but I liked that he was introduced as the handsome one and you're clearly supposed to immediately know like he is the focus of this. This is the handsome man you should be looking at. I thought they very effectively did that.
I mean, he's also supposed to be like, allegory is not the right word. He's supposed to remind you of young Kirk, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
having him be handsome and determined and blame himself and all, like he is supposed to, like Kirk is supposed to look at him and be like, I not only are you the son of the captain who I let die, but you remind me of me.
Yeah.
The one thing that there are things I like about the Kelvin universe, AOS or whatever, that more than TOS or whatever. Shocking, I know. And one of the things I really do like about the AOS Kirk is that, they portray him as like a big fuckboy, whatever. But as the series goes on, he becomes like the captain that knows everybody's name and is like really committed to his like crew, like not just the 6. In TOS, Kirk is like, oh, you're on my ship?
Yeah.
Like, it seems maybe important that you would have noticed the son of the captain who you think you accidentally helped to kill is on your ship.
Well, that's like the other one who, you're one of 9 survivors and you don't know a second
Riley's
one
there.
is on your
Yeah.
fucking ship. Like,
Totally. Well, maybe they don't tell him because it's part of the drama. Like those 2 will just keep, like they deserve to be on the ship. They're really good, but maybe don't tell him.
They perhaps even requested to be there because it's Kirk's ship.
100%.
And then they kind of just...
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll see him in the mess hall.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the world's best actor, but I do think that he did a good job, especially like near the end when him and Kirk, and like that moment at the end too, where like the ensign thinks that Kirk is going to sacrifice himself, and he's like, "No, I'm going to sacrifice myself." And then Kirk's like, "That's not what's happening. I get the heroics. Like, truly, I would have done the same thing. That's not what we're doing. Chill." I really love that moment because it's true. Like, of course, a young Kirk would like sacrifice himself or whatever. Like,
Older Kirk is like, no, we have an actual plan. There is a real plan, actually.
100%. That character comes back in a Star Trek Prodigy episode. That's the kid Star Trek.
Okay.
So he does show up again.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice. And I think he's in some like books and shit like that.
That
But,
makes
like,
sense.
Whatever. In terms of like more extended lore, I did read, there's a short story called The Greater Good in like an anthology called The Shards of Shadows or something like that. And it's a mirror universe story about Kirk's time on the Farragut and Kirk basically noticing that the cloud is killing everyone and not liking his captain and not looking up to him and being like, oh, word, easy. And then just like letting the cloud and like having the opposite reaction of Kirk and like reminder in the mirror universe, the way you get promoted is by killing.
Right.
So
yeah.
like a young Kirk was like, oh, I don't have to lift a finger. Chill.
I love it.
It's really gay coded.
Yeah. I love it because it said that like Garrovick, the Captain Garrovick, teased Kirk at Academy. And so Kirk slyly kind of arranges for Garrovick and those 200 people to die.
Wow.
And Mirror Universe Kirk says it's the soundest he's slept in years.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Which is really good, I think.
My goodness.
Obviously, this episode, it was written by Art Wallace, and he based it on Moby Dick. Feels very obvious,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
DC Fontana, our girl, was like, don't you think we already did that? And everybody was like, well, let's do it again. Which, I mean, it is a
Respect.
different perspective, but like she's not wrong. And I also do think it's very interesting because even though Doomsday Machine premiered first, Stardate wise, this one happened first.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe I do kind of like that. So if you think of it like if you're watching it out of order or if you're watching it in Stardate order, Kirk has his kind of moment. And so then when Admiral Sweaty, I don't remember his name, comes on and he sees that, he already has a good basis of like, we've been down this road. You can't do this to my ship. So I do kind of like that order, even though they technically premiered in a different order. This episode is pretty well regarded. AV Club gives it a B. Gizmodo ranked it 43 out of 700 episodes. A lot of people, I don't know about all that. It's good, but I don't know about all that. It's often listed on like best of Kirk kind of
Yeah. That
list.
makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. This is the first time we kind of learn about Spock's blood and how it's like
really?
different.
Oh.
So that is important, like lore-wise or whatever. I do also love the flirting with Spock and Kirk at the end.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where he's just like, you saved us. And Spock's like, well, I'm not a god, but like.
I might as well be.
Yeah. And Bones is like, oh, in the background.
Uh,
Pretty A-plus stuff.
I did love that scene between the two of them where Bones was like, you need what from me?
Yeah, he's like, I need your help. And he's like, I need a drink.
I liked it too because he didn't immediately start browbeating him either. He was like, word? Really?
Yeah.
Seems bizarre, maybe. Do you need medical leave?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about the scene with Spock and the ensign too. That's a great scene.
Yes, I agree.
Again, it's kind of like Spock tries to have that conversation with Kirk, like, hey, remember when we just shot a big ass phaser at it? If that didn't work against a cloud, your little phaser 11 years ago wouldn't have worked. You have been blaming yourself for the death of these crewmen for years. And Kirk's like, I don't want to hear it. Let me have my feelings. And so then Spock's like, well, logically, I'm going to go tell this other guy who's feeling this way. And he's having like a pretty nice moment with the ensign and who is having the exact same reaction. Like, you don't know. I could have saved them. And then the little cloud comes in and Spock's like, I'll stop it with my hands.
I did love that. I thought that was very funny. The cloud was like, ew, ick, ew. Just took off.
Definitely the blood. Also, like, if we're really thinking about Vulcan biology and stuff, like, a lot of their telepathy comes from touch in their hands. So, like, maybe that was, like, it probably wasn't an active choice. It probably was just, like, covering the vent with my hands. But you could make it an active choice of, like, maybe I'll finger this cloud with, and then it will, like, I'll feel its brain or whatever. So I do love when Kirk is forgiving the ensign and then he has a moment where you can see he's like forgiving himself. That's a really good acting moment from Shatner.
I agree. I wrote down several times that there was a lot of really good acting in this episode, especially from him.
Yeah, I just think he, some episodes he's crazy in and does overact, but like this, he is, at least young William Shatner can act pretty well.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Who knows if he can still. I think he's probably bought into his own hype now.
I mean, he's very old also.
Yeah. Still alive, though.
Still alive.
As of this recording, still alive.
Went to space and everything.
Well, quote, went to space.
Quote. Whatever. He went very high in a rocket for a man of his advanced years.
And then became very intense about climate change.
Yep.
He was already kind of intense about it because he's, a horse girl and conservation and whatever. But now he's like, at like Star Trek and conventions and stuff, he doesn't talk about Star Trek. He talks about climate change, which
legit.
I think is pretty great.
Yeah, that rules.
I don't follow him on any social media still.
Don't. Do not.
Keep my fave my fave. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I Again, I liked this episode. I thought there were a lot of good pieces of it. It wasn't one of those, like, pieces are better than the whole episode. I thought the whole thing worked together very well.
Yeah.
It also, like, I thought it was broken up into acts pretty well, where, like, it never felt overwhelming about what was being actually done. They were very clear about where they were in the storyline, which I thought was also really nice and really helpful, too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good script.
Yeah.
It's really like straightforward, but like makes logical sense, makes character sense. And like for an episode where like a ton doesn't happen, it like moves pretty quick too. Like if I told you what happened in it, you could think like, oh, that's probably a slow episode. It has a really good pace to it.
Yeah, it clips along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. That's
Me
it.
too.
That's all I have to say about
I've learned that I like this episode quite a bit.
Yes. Oh, I did have one more thing. I thought that the makeup of the drained
yeah.
it looked great. I'm sure some of it is enhanced a little bit, but like it looks really good. It's very effective costume and makeuping. Whatever. Keep that.
That works. Keep all the mistakes. No edits on this one.
Nope, none of that.
Just kidding. We cough a lot. You can take the coughs
There's
out.
a lot going on in this episode. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Synopsis showdown. Captain Kirk hunts his white whale. Cloud.
Kirk acts his way out of a gas cloud.
That's very good. Are you ready for Mulder? It's me. Whatever.
Yes.
Mulder, I think the only thing more fortuitous than the emergence of life on this planet is that through purely random laws of biological evolution, an intelligence as complex as ours ever emanated from it. The very idea of intelligent alien life is not only astronomically improbable, but at its most basic level, downright anti-Darwinian.
Scully, what are you wearing?
I'm doing another bullet points of this one, sort of bullet points. Quick-ish on my side again. Okay, here's the summary. Mulder works a bug case while Scully supervises. That's what we're looking at right now. An exterminator dies from bugs, except JK, it's from allergies. There's some phone flirting. Mulder versus the yokel cop. There's some more phone flirting. Then we see the stoners for the first time, except that one of them does horribly die, just like the other episode that we watched. Like, those two are maybe the problem also. Also, it wasn't roaches, it was just drugs that he died from. Then another roach attack happens. This time it's a poop aneurysm. Mulder breaks into government property and encounters a lot of roaches. And we meet Dr. Bambi. Poor Scully is so pissed about Dr. Bambi. And then has to listen to Mulder's bug trauma about it. There's another roach attack, only this one is a heart attack. There's more Dr. Bambi, and we get to meet the robot doctor who talks about roaches. And then there's Scully versus a convenience store, and she wins, I guess. And then yada, yada, yada. Mulder blows up a fuel plant, and they get covered in shit. All right, that's the end.
Yeah.
What did you think of this episode?
That is the end.
That is the end.
I liked it. I think I liked it. Other than seeing that old man's toenails. That part I didn't like. The roaches, I was really fine with. But the old man's toenails, not good.
You really couldn't get over it either.
It was like a horrible jump scare. Yeah, I don't think it's as like Darren Morgan's strongest episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has a super satisfying conclusion, but I don't think it has like a Chris Carter style conclusion, so I'm fine with it.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
I
like,
absolutely know what you mean.
It's open-ended in kind of an annoying way, but in a way that like you are kind of feeling what Mulder is feeling instead of open-ended in a way where you're like, literally, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. His episodes are usually very like ship in a bottle episodes.
Yeah.
He's very good at that, even if the ending is like Clyde Bruckman also has that like open-endedness at the end. Like he's very good at doing that.
I thought the banter between Scully and Mulder was really good. It was a really interesting choice to have her far away from most of it. I asked while we were watching it, like, was this like because of like a production schedule? Like, was she like out of town or something? And I do like that. It seems like it was more of like an intentional choice. Like
right.
he puts them in interesting situations where they can have banter instead of just like, this is how we talk. It's like, nobody talks like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I did really like the, conceit or whatever of like while the roaches were there, that's not necessarily why the deaths happen. And I love that Scully figured it out like every single time.
Yeah.
Not even at the crime scene. Though if the roaches are machines, I don't know how that guy would have died from anaphylactic shock.
Well, there were two different
Also,
kinds.
He's an exterminator. How would he die? Like, wouldn't he have known that he was allergic to them? He was holding it like this far from his face. I don't think you can be allergic to roaches and be an exterminator.
I don't know.
That's the biggest plot hole in this whole episode.
I mean, that's fair. I don't disagree with you about that. Maybe he's never directly encountered them before. It was the first time. That's why he picked it up. He was like, how fascinating. I've never actually seen these. And then was like, all right, time to kill all of these fucking bugs or whatever.
I don't think he, as like a 50-year-old man, got a job as an exterminator, and this was his first go around.
No, I don't think it was his first go around. It just happened to be the first time that he could snag a roach. You saw Mulder try to do it. It was quite difficult, it turns out.
I just don't think you can be an exterminator if you're allergic to roaches.
All right, I'm not
I feel like
necessarily
that's
arguing
fair.
about that.
Anyways,
Fine.
that is the one hole that I was really annoyed with. I really loved the like bug robot scientist. I thought he was great. I like that kind of red herring because you're like anticipating him being like the bad guy and like creepy or whatever, and he's just like really into his science.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like really fun. I also love that he is disabled and they don't ever have to explain it. It doesn't get in the way of him being a good scientist. Like, that is like great representation, I thought.
I thought the same thing while we were watching it.
Yeah, he was really good. And I love that moment where he sees basically his like dream machine underneath the microscope and he's like, what, like, can you, and then the next time you see him, he's like drinking whiskey, like my whole life, my life's work. Like, I thought that was really great. He was really fascinating. Dr. Bambi gave me big Christmas Jones vibes. I would like to know which one came out first. I think this one, because Christmas Jones is a Pierce Brosnan and he didn't become James Bond until late 90s. So I would assume that Dr. Christmas Jones came out afterwards.
World Is Not Enough was 1999,
Yeah.
so Dr. Bambi was first.
Dr. Bambi and Christmas Jones, very, very simpatico, where it's like super hot, like scientist with like a stupid name.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
Like, she did a good job conveying her, like, yeah, I love this. This is, you know.
Mm-hmm. She and David Duchovny also have good chemistry. They were on Red Shoe Diaries together before this, too. So
Is that his, like, weird softcore porn
Yes.
thing? Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She has that vibe.
Yes.
But
she
yes,
does.
she did a good job being, you know, both hot, but also delivering her lines and being like, no, I'm a competent scientist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I made a like remark where I was like, early season Mulder like hits differently because he's so wild, and you guys were both like, Darren Morgan Mulder hits differently, and you guys totally right with this stupid little mock turtleneck.
Oh, I love it. I love the mock turtleneck. It's so stupid.
I also kind of liked his banter with the cop. Like, the cop wasn't as incompetent as some of the other cops, but he also wasn't. He kind of was just like, whatever, guy.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the characterization of it is interesting that we see them interact with so many different forms of law enforcement, and a lot of them are bad because LOL, cops are bad. But it is fun to see, you know, some local cops being like, well, I don't know, it's roaches.
Yeah, right? What do you want me to do? I loved at the end where he's like, would you like to know the whole fucking list of everything that happened? Well, anyway, see you later, FBI.
You guys are covered in shit. Bye. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a fun episode. I guess, like, we never really get a satisfying answer as to, like, why the cockroaches were killing all of these, like, scientists specifically. But then I guess if they're, like, aliens, maybe there's other reasons. I also think that's a really interesting theory. Like, I've never heard that before. The, like, why would aliens send themselves or whatever? Like,
Right.
I thought it was an interesting theory that I had never heard before. And it is fun on the X-Files to, in one episode, have Mulder, who starts the episode sitting in a car staring at the sky just for fun, to be presented with two new potential explanations for, like, aliens and UFOs, and him being like, huh. I mean, you're wrong, but huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's Darren Morgan's strongest, but I think
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
If you can handle bugs. If you can't, obviously don't watch this.
Yeah, don't. if you've got some body horror and you don't like things moving in skin, don't watch this one.
Yeah,
either.
if you can't handle watching The Mummy, you can't watch this.
Yes, fair enough. That's a good balance. You're
Yeah.
right.
I mean, that happens in The Mummy a lot.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've watched The Mummy.
Well, the scarabs get all up in the... that's how they kill a bunch of people in one of the temples.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know.
That's fine. I'm sorry, it wasn't my bisexual awakening. I know it's a lot of
It's
people's.
not mine either.
If you can't handle me at my mummy, you don't deserve me at my War of the Coprophages.
Mummy's not my bisexual awakening either. I just remember that part because it was visceral to watch little bugs squirm under people's skin.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's icky.
You were saying that it wasn't Darren Morgan's strongest episode. Zach Halen wrote about it, and he said, "This is the second Darren Morgan episode I've had to write about, and once again, I'm not sure that I've done it justice," which I really like, because even though it's not his strongest episode, like, it is still very good, and it's nice to be able to understand as a whole of his work, like, all of it fits together like a big puzzle, which is
He's
great.
the best writer of the show.
Oh,
like
100%.
hands down. If you disagree, you don't like the fun parts.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
If you prefer risk,
Syndicate.
yeah,
Ew.
get out of here. So, like, yeah.
Yep. Would you like to know how Darren Morgan felt about this episode?
Did it make him not want to live anymore?
He fucking hated it. He said that he was watching it with one of his girlfriends, and she was like, "Well, I don't understand why this episode happened." And he was like, "I don't understand why this episode happened either."
I don't understand why I'm even here.
Yes, so of course he is once again very down. It was a.
Is he like still going to like cons and stuff? Does he still talk about the X-Files?
I have no idea.
I would be really interested to know what his like deal is now, like especially now that X-Files has been out there for so long, people have so many opinions, and I feel like one of the overwhelming opinions is that this guy is the X-Files in many ways and wrote so many of the strongest episodes. Like, does he internalize that at all? Is it like a thing where he hated it at the time, but can he look back and be like, you know what, that one was pretty good?
Yeah.
I would be very curious to like read an interview or see like him talk about it. That's just a thought I'm having.
Yeah, no, I think that's really interesting. I have no idea. I've never really thought about it like that before.
Because who like the other strong writers that like are like what, Morgan and Wong, right?
Yeah.
But those two seem like they're like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They seem like they know that they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
As they should.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it would be interesting to he seems like such a troubled artist in many ways.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to like having at this point decades of praise.
Yeah.
Can he internalize it? That's
Yeah.
more.
I'll
ring up his therapist.
Yeah, I thought that's a very interesting question. That's it. That's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say about this whole episode.
That's all I have to say about this whole episode.
I have one complaint. Where is Skinner? It's been many years.
We got to watch him write a diary entry to Skinner at the end of this one, which is, his thing. I do have a fun fact about Kim Manners. He apparently fucking hated using the cockroaches because it's a huge pain in the ass.
Which is so wild because in season 1 of Supernatural,
I know.
a thing that he's in charge of, he brought in a lot of bees.
I know.
So
even after they fucked it up with the X-Files.
Somebody's making these choices.
Right, they did
Kim.
these roaches, and then after that decided, you know what we're gonna do? Bees. We're gonna upgrade to the bees. These were all trained cockroaches plus a bunch of like really, really good bug models.
How do you train a cockroach?
I mean, you can train kind of any animal. Only one of them died, and it was of old age. It wasn't even because anybody like stepped on it. Isn't that a bizarre thing that happened? Yeah,
A lot of bees died.
Yeah, that's. I'm not surprised by that, actually. There's a story that he was so pissed that the roaches weren't doing what they wanted that he stuck his face in a bucket and yelled at them to do what he wanted. And then after that, they did do what he wanted.
All right.
That's what happens.
Yelling at roaches.
Yelling at roaches. All right. Now that is actually it. That's all I have to say about this episode.
Okay.
Synopsis showdown?
Yes.
Mulder meets a woman who makes Scully lose her mind.
Mulder probably has sex in a roach-infested house. He probably did.
He probably
Seemed
did.
like he did. Are you ready for Deep Throat's mission logs?
Yeah.
Thank heaven.
Mr. Scott, there was no deity involved. It was my cross-circuiting to be that recovered them. Well, then, thank pitchforks and pointed ears.
Starting with Obsession, original air date December 15th, 1967, written by Art Wallace, who also co-wrote with Gene Roddenberry the failed spin-off pilot Assignment Earth. Directed by Ralph Sinensky, so yes, it looks fantastic. Of course, Gene Roddenberry's original story idea for this was just called Space Moby Dick. Right there on the nose. And of course, the dichronium cloud creature was created using a smoke machine, because it was just smoke.
It was just smoke.
We learn a little bit about dichronium extended universe-wise. Atomic number 112, atomic weight of 300, first discovered on planet Vulcan. Of course, in our time, that's element 112, and it was fabricated in 1996 and is named Copernicium.
I think I made up a different name for it. I heard a different thing, and I was like, I'm not going to look it up. So in my summary, I say the wrong element.
Oh, well.
It's Spain.
It's fake.
In this, we get mention, I believe not for the first or last time, of Kirk's first ship, the Farragut, named after David Glasgow Farragut, who we get the quote, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead" from in real life. During this, also in the beginning of the episode, we see the quote-unquote death of Red Shirt Leslie, who we've talked about a bunch, played by Eddie Paskey. However, later in the episode, we see Eddie Paskey in a red shirt running around the ship in the very same episode.
Maybe he's an iMud android.
Apocrypha from him...
Twin, or...
yeah. Apocrypha from Eddie Paskey was that there was, in the script or somewhere, a cutscene where he was brought back to life. However, director Ralph Sinensky does not remember that in the script. And we see Eddie Paskey play Leslie throughout the rest of the show. So he's one of the people that's always just kind of there. Extended universe stuff beyond what Stell mentioned of Prodigy and that fantastic mirror universe novella. In the game Star Trek Judgment Rights, there is Lieutenant Commander Walter Ellis, who carries a grudge against Captain Kirk because one of his friends was one of the red shirts that dies in the beginning of this episode. And toxic masculinity is a cycle, so he blames Kirk and holds vengeance and all of that.
There is a current comic book coming out right now called Red Shirts, and it's written by Christopher Cantwell, I want to say. And it's supposed to be like the horror book, and it's just following these like red shirts on this like impossible mission, and they are dying in insane ways. But it is also told from their perspective and how like they feel like they're disposable and stuff, which is sort of interesting. I don't love it yet. It's only 2 issues in, but it is interesting to hear of like, because LOL, haha, the red shirt or whatever. But like, obviously, if we as viewers see it, probably the people who are living it also see it. You know what I mean? So it is kind of an interesting take on what would it be to be security in Starfleet.
Yeah, for real.
I never mind shows like that. I like them. That's the Hellboy comic books have a really great series of just the other agents in this series that go in and try to combat all of these weird cult horrors and things like that. It's great. I love that as a trope. And then the last bit of detail I'll give before casting here is that we mentioned that great scene between Spock and Garevik. And during that scene, Kirk gets a message from the bridge and walks over to a comm panel. If you look really closely, you can still see the stain on the wall from a muck time where Spock threw that green soup.
Oh.
A lot of soup talk in this episode.
A
lot of soup talk.
Eat your soup.
Moving on to some casting, which is really easy here because we only see a couple of people that are actually guests. One is Rizzo, the dangerously revived red shirt we see in the beginning, played by Jerry Ayers. We also see him play O'Hurley in Arena, so he's also there getting his ass kicked. And we talked about him there as well. And then that is Stephen Brooks as Ensign Garevik. Stephen Brooks was a favorite of Ralph Sinensky, who had worked with him elsewhere, so that's how he gets put on the show. Sinensky just asked for him. He's also known for roles in the FBI, The Interns, The Nurses, and 194 episodes of The Days of Our Lives as Joshua Fallon. Also starred in the New Trier Township High School from Winnetka, Illinois. New Trier Township High School production of Plain and Fancy, Opposite and Margaret.
Oh, shit. Well, that's fucking wild.
Yeah. Moving on to War of the Coprophages, that is original air date January 5th, 1996. Of course, as we've discussed already, written by Darren Morgan, directed by Kim Manners. As Scully is storming that grocery store, you see behind her in the fracas, as it were, a car accident that she briefly looks back at. That was not planned.
That's the not planned one. I knew that there
yeah.
was like a not planned car accident sometime, and I thought about that, and I was like, is it this one?
Yep, yeah, it's that little fender bender you see, which she just turns, looks at, and then keeps acting. That they kind of threw in some ADR sound cues in. Where the fuck you going? That's the not planned car accident. It's just a little bump, but it's still the take they kept.
Pretty nice cars to accidentally smash.
Yeah. Because it's a Darren Morgan episode, every single fucking detail matters and every name matters. So I'm going to kind of run through these a little quickly. The name of the town is Miller's Grove. This is a reference, as is the title, to Grover's Mill, the town that the War of the Worlds is supposed to happen in. War of the Coprophages, War of the Worlds. Same thing with that as well. Scully mentions Ekbom's syndrome as a reference to what she thinks the stoner guy was experiencing before he slashes himself to get the cockroaches out. That's real. That's a real thing that people can get.
Yeah, they wrote a whole play about it, right? Isn't it called Bugs?
Tape. No, you're right. It's by the same person that wrote Tape.
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe it is just called Bugs.
Whatever.
I mean, on the nose. It's great.
Know stuff.
Yeah. We did theater.
Not to be confused with Whitmack-Ekbom syndrome, which is restless leg syndrome. They're both oddly called Ekbom syndrome.
Well, they're sort of similar in that you're feeling your skin.
Sure. Yeah, and like twitchy and those are related. Scully, as we see in a cut in bed, is reading Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is a dig at David Duchovny. The answer he got wrong to lose Jeopardy was a Truman Capote novel. He guessed Breakfast at Tiffany's, which was the wrong answer.
In cold blood.
I don't know what the question was. Oh. But that would have been my guess as well. Dr. Bambi Berenbaum is named after famous entomologist Dr. May Berenbaum. May Berenbaum does all of her work out of University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign and is one of the foremost entomologists. Her work on beekeeping and bee husbandry has made her famous world over. She's actually really fucking good at her job. A really cool person to look into. I got lost in that Wikipedia article for a while. Dr. Jeff Eckery is one of the creative consultants from the X-Files, so that's where they got that name. And then we see kind of a shaky news report happening while Mulder's doing a bunch of stuff. That news reporter's name is Sky Leakin, and Leakin Sky is an X-Files fan who won a contest that just got their name thrown into the episode.
Cute.
Again, that's kind of that emergent internet culture thing that happens with the X-Files, where fans are getting noticed and mentioned in credits and comments and things like that. This is another funny note and also a very funny Darren Morganism. Fox took some flack from viewers and also standards and practices for how much they said the word crap in this episode. Apparently that was kind of a gray area
Different time.
Yeah, for real.
So Darren
Just
Morgan
a different time.
wrote a Millennium episode called Somehow Satan Got Behind Me, in which they're shooting an X-Files-like parody show with body doubles for Mulder and Scully and saying the word crap over and over and over again. Love it. Moving on to some casting stuff. There's a lot here because we have a lot of crowd scenes and things like that. So I'll just go through some of the highlights. There are a bunch of stunt performers who are in that supermarket. All of the female stunt performers also worked on Happy Gilmore.
Weird.
Same year. So
Strange.
I don't know if it was the same company. Also in there, as a resident walking out of the hallway, we mentioned that scene where it's like all of the men walking out of the hallway. Yes. That Barry L. Stewart is also in there. We also see him in Ascension, which is the sequel to Dwayne Barry.
Also, only men died in this episode.
That's why I noticed all the men coming out of the hallway, because it's like no women are being stupid enough to come out in the middle of the night.
Well, and also like they're being targeted or whatever, maybe. And I was like, all right, roaches.
All right, roaches, I see you.
All right,
I see you.
roaches.
I see you.
Also in that scene, we get resident number 1 played by Tim Heaton. Heaton's also in Shadows, which we don't cover in the show, but you watch because it's season 1.
I don't remember what happens.
He's also Tornair in a movie called Slither, which is one of my favorite gross out flicks. And a lot of early 90s sci-fi as well. It got Gemini nominated for Da Vinci's Inquest and Leo nominated for Christmas on Chestnut Street. Moving up, we see as an orderly Ren Roberts, Crow Stairway to Heaven, Outer Limits. Also, Supernatural Season 1, Episode 2, Wendigo as Brad.
I hate that you said it like that.
You hate that I said it accurately to the show?
Ugh. Wendigo. Wendigo. The episode is okay.
Let's see. I had some other cool ones.
That one
in
is mid.
here.
Like, it's good. The first episode is such a banger. And then the second episode, you're like, okay. We see what's happening.
Yeah.
Also, it's hard for me to watch because they say Wendigo
Crap.
a lot. It's Wendigo, right? No, I've looked
It's
it up.
Wendigo.
I
It's
looked it
Wendigo.
up.
We've had this conversation on this podcast.
Well, then I was like, am I being insensitive?
No,
Is it
no, you're-
actually something else? But they
It's
said
Wendigo.
it wrong.
It's Wendigo.
No, they were saying it incorrectly.
Speaking of all that,
Stupid boys.
Tyler Labine and Nicole Parker are back as their stoner selves. With them as dude is Alan Buckley. He's beefed up a lot since this, one of his first roles. So he's most known now for playing Sonny Quinn in 114 episodes of SEAL Team, as well as many other TV shows and some producing roles as well. However, he is in Supernatural for 5 episodes as a character named Ed Zedmore.
Yeah, he's one of the ghost facers.
Oh shit, that's great.
He's the one that has the iconic line about how gay love like pierced the veil and saved the day. That's so funny. That doesn't look like him at all.
So
I always think him older kind of looks like Chris, like my ex. If you look him
interesting.
up, like
Well, if you look up him now, his IMDb is
if you
are
look
pictures
at
of him.
Oh,
like
yep.
here in
Yeah.
Supernatural era, that is like straight
Yeah.
up, right?
So now bring up his IMDb.
Okay, Seal. So it's Ed Zedmore, or no, not Ed Zedmore.
Alan Buckley.
Alan Buckley.
His IMDb is all pictures of him in like flak jackets and things, and like working out in the gym.
Wow.
He got jacked up.
He took steroids because the shape of his face has changed.
So different. So different.
That's so funny that he's the gay love pierce the veil guy. That's very funny.
As Dr. Alexander Ivanov is Ken Kramer. Ken Kramer, who we also see play Dr. Terrace in Erlenmeyer Flask and Dr. Browning in 3. So he was a lot in the early ones. The on-point named Dr. Bugger is played by Alex Bruhansky. We also see him in Elegy, Season 4, Episode 22, as Angelo Primero. Also, Burr on a Wire, Look Who's Talking To, voiced God in a short film named The Day My Cat Saved My Life, and also Supernatural, Season 3, Episode 8, A Very Supernatural Christmas. He plays Ronnie.
Is that the one where it's the like old lady, the old gods? Yeah. It's 2 like old gods who are like really into Christmas, and then they kidnap the boys because they have to sacrifice them.
Oh, because we gotta sacrifice.
Because they're like, people used to sacrifice like to us all the time at Christmas. Now we got to do it ourselves.
Seen grilling Fox Mulder as to if he should get out of town promptly is Dr. Rick Newton. That's Bill Lau. It's Burke's bitch.
Yeah, that's why I thought. I was staring at him and I was like, how did he get here? he drove here so much faster than Scully. Was he with Mulder?
And that's a thing only you get because we've watched these out of orders,
order.
because he also plays a different character in Jersey Devil as well before he returns as Burks a few times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's how you get a job. As Sheriff Frass, our kind of irascible whatever,
I liked
the whole
him.
town's on fire. He's great. That's Dion Anderson. Also, Head Bull Haig in Shawshank Redemption, one of the most famous, well-known, good movies ever, Shawshank Redemption. Did guest work everywhere from 84 to 05, and also is in Deep Space Nine, Season 2, Episode 5, Cardassians as Zolan. I did some digging there.
Is he a Cardassian?
No. So he has like these huge forehead plates there. And in Mem Alpha, his species is listed as Zolan's species. So
he's the only one?
It's a one-off species. In my notes, I put, this is rare for Trek.
Wow.
It's a one-off species that they never give a name and never go fully into. He's part of the plot as he accuses some Beta Z family who adopted a Cardassian of mistreating them. But his species is listed as Zolan's species. It's so weird for Trek.
They straight up were like, we don't want to do this makeup anymore.
A little hard. We don't want to do this.
It's a pretty intense makeup job.
It is. Those plates are huge. As Dr. Jeff Eckery, that's Ray Burke, Flint, Michigan born, went to college at Northwestern, then received an MFA in theater from University of Minnesota. Played a character named Pap Schmier, P-A-H-P-S-H-M-I-R.
Wow, what a good drag name.
In the Two Naked Gun movies.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it is a fantastic drag name. So many other credits from 1970 to 2017. Several different judges on Days of Our Lives, Pinsky and Throw Mama from the Train, and then also played a Sonat Doctor in Star Trek Insurrection.
The worst.
The worst.
I don't know if it's the worst. It's the most boring. That's the one I want to watch the least. I would rather watch Nemesis because at least you're like, that's baby Tom Hardy.
And baby Tom Hardy is very camp.
He was born in the darkness.
He was born and molded by it. And that brings us to It Could Only Be Dr. Bambi Berenbaum, played by Bobby Phillips. So Bambi, Bobby, I'm going to try my best. I might switch them up.
Whatever.
Bobby Phillips.
Break out into company.
As Erin mentioned, did some work in the Showtime anthology series Red Shoe Diaries with David Duchovny. She also won Sci-Fi Universe Magazine's 1996 Reader's Choice Award for Guest Actress in a Genre Series for this performance.
Oh.
Graduated high school early at 16, so actually a smart person in real life, jumped right into acting, had early success in a movie called TC 2000, which also starred Tybo inventor Billy Blanks. That movie was said to do well enough that overseas, like internationally, that they made a sequel called Back in Action with the two of them and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
All right.
And then she also had a starring role as a seductive murderess in the 1998 TV movie Chameleon. Guested all over 90s and 2000s TVs with return roles on Bold and Beautiful, The Watcher, Murder One, The Cape and Crow, Stairway to Heaven. And then in 2013 left Hollywood to travel the world with her pro surfer husband and go on animal rescue missions. So she's very, very passionate about animal rescue and all of that. And then came back to acting in like 2014 to be in a conspiracy theory film called The Gandhi Murder.
Oh, Lord.
Which I stopped myself from reading more into, but I will get there. And then hasn't acted again since.
You can stream the Red Shoe Diaries on Tubi. I just wanted to see if it was streaming anywhere, so I looked it up.
Great.
I did watch that at my friend's house who had cable as a kid growing up. And because I was already watching the X-Files. And I was like, most of the, like, it's an anthology series, so it's David Duchovny's character, like, reading letters sent to him for the Red Shoe Diaries, his column or whatever. So it's shots of David Duchovny walking down the beach with his dog. And then, like, voiceover, and then they go to whatever skin flick it is, and then maybe wrap up with him in the end.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that's me, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Smart is sexy.
And now it's time for our overall thoughts. So my episode is very, very intensely tied to the theme.
Yes.
It is the name of the episode.
Yes, it is. I don't know.
Your episode.
It was loose, but I don't know, Mulder being crazy, Bambi being kind of crazy, the
Bambi's
robot
really
guy
into
being...
roaches.
Yeah.
The robot guy's really into
Yeah,
roaches.
there's a lot of obsession happening within this episode. It gets into Mulder and the aliens, like, in several different ways. So part of that is obsession. It's just a little looser.
Just
Just
a
a
little
little
looser.
looser.
I could
That's-
say
I
it's
think it
maybe
works,
even
though.
a little more than looser. There's that theme of Mulder really, really wanting these roaches to be aliens or whatever, and literally every cause of death is not the roaches. Again,
Yeah,
again, and
that's
again.
true.
Yeah.
Good observation.
How well do these episodes tie together? I don't really think they do.
I don't think they do either. There's not really there's no Moby Dick in the X-Files. There's no Darren Morgan in the Star Trek. They just don't really.
Yeah, there's not even like a random thing really. So, superfan questionnaire. As a superfan, would this episode be on your must-watch list?
No, I don't think so, but I do feel like the list that put it up pretty high, I would agree with that. Like, this was a good episode. I think I would probably watch this one over the other Moby Dick one. I like that 100%. One, but this one was much better.
And this one is centered on our crew more, and that one's centered on like an outside admiral.
Right, exactly.
God, I hate that I can't remember the name of the admiral. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. This wouldn't be on a must-watch list for me, but I like it.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's interesting because like if we did like must-watch Kirk episodes, like that one would definitely, or like watch all the Darren Morgan episodes. So they are like good at the thing they're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
So they could go on a specific list,
yes,
I think.
I would agree with that.
Is there a series defining moment in this episode?
There's so many red shirt dads. Just so many
That's
red
literally
shirt
kind of the point of the episode.
Absolutely. Like it's like, oh, this is why this exists. Just because there's just red shirt after red shirt just absolutely eating it the whole episode.
Yeah.
And the flinging. There was the flinging also.
You love the flinging.
It's very series defining.
Mulder sitting in his car alone, looking at the sky, and Mulder touching a lot of things with his fingers. A lot of things with his fingers.
Touching so many things with his fingers.
Hey, Spock and Mulder touch things with their hands. That's how they tie together. Does this affirm your OTP?
No, it doesn't.
No.
It was fake OTP, which I appreciate a little bit, but not.
Pre-OTP.
Yeah.
Faux TP.
Yeah, faux TP. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think if the like OTP we talk about is Mulder and Scully, then yes.
Yeah. This is one of
very
those
flirty. It's very bantery. It's very. She's like sleeping with her phone because she thinks he's dead. Like
so up in each other's shit.
Yeah, 100%.
I do love watching her clean her gun. She's just like super casually chatting on the phone
and eating her ice cream.
90s trope.
Yeah, man, it really is. Women eating ice cream out of carton. I know
comically large cartons.
I know it happens, but like that feels like a very 90s femme-coded thing to put in movies and TV.
Yes.
Is this a fuck, fine, or a flop?
Fine plus? I don't know that I would call it a fuck. I don't know. Maybe it is because he's so good in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a fuck minus. I wouldn't say this is. I'm not like enthusiastic about.
I think same, like fuck minus.
Yeah.
I think it's better than a fine.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But it's not like remarkable or anything. We didn't talk about the bug part on the TV.
Oh yeah, you had thoughts about the
hated
bug.
It. I didn't appreciate the like fourth wall breaking. I felt like it was unnecessary.
It's one of the only times they do it too.
Yeah, and because of that pissed me off. Like I hate that like I'm fine with that type of stuff if it's like an established thing or it makes sense or whatever. Like just a random fourth wall break, like that's dumb.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate it.
Pretty much no one did.
Yeah, people fucking hate it.
Because they thought a real bug was on their TV.
Yeah, and they smashed their TVs.
A lot of people smashed their TVs.
Well, why wouldn't you wait till the bug was off the TV to hit it?
Because you don't see it. If you have a dark TV box and then it crawls onto the screen.
Turn a light on.
Listen, man, I don't know.
Don't hit your TV.
I agree. I'm not saying that that's incorrect.
But also still stupid to do. Like...
I just don't think it adds anything.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It feels like an afterthought. It feels...
Yeah.
There's no relevance to the plot. It's not like a fourth wall breaky plot or anything.
There are so many other times, too, where they swarm that it would have felt more appropriate to put it as a fourth wall break in that case.
Like in that episode that I hated with God, like if he breaks the fourth wall, okay, it's God, right? You know, like at least that makes narrative sense. There is no narrative sense for it to happen.
Yeah.
So I hated it.
Fair enough.
And I think that I'm correct.
All right. That's fair enough.
All right. That's it.
All right. You can find us on the internet. Follow us at NYD Productions on Instagram and interact with the show using the hashtag XTrexPod. You can find me at NYD Urgency on Instagram.
You can find me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Instagram at Stella Cheeks.
You can find me on Steam at A Perturbed Turtle. Actually, you can find me easier at Science Dog 83 on Steam. That's kind of like the display name, original name, Science Dog.
Science Dog.
Science Dog is a old...
I like a perturbed turtle.
A Perturbed Turtle is kind of like my new screen name that's like everywhere else. Yeah. Science Dog is the favorite hero of comic book character Atomic Robo. His favorite series, so it's kind of... Anyways, you can find me there. And you can also find me both on our company Discord and in our company newsletter. Our company Discord, which you can access from links on the website or messaging us, and our company newsletter at nydproductions.beehive.com. That's BEEHIIV.com. Both of those places would be... great to interact with us as the show is moving forward. The Discord specifically is a great place to jump in and start talking with us about this series wrap-up, which is fast approaching. Spoiler alerts, as we already have an unhinged fuck, marry, kill from Jolene that has been added to the script that I'm making. But please, please, please send us more. Send us questions. Send us any thought you've ever had about this series altogether.
We want to know.
We would love to know that. We would love to interact with you there, and also sign up for the newsletter and let us know your thoughts about that as well.
Yeah.
Bobby went off script and kind of said my thing. You can also email us at extraxpod@gmail.com with any of those thoughts, or if you want links. I obviously have links where Kirk is obsessed with that dick. Ew.
Do you also have links where Spock fucks a cloud?
No.
Oh, man.
I could probably find one.
Probably.
I don't want to. I think you can skip to your part, Erin, because Bobby said all that stuff.
Yep.
All right. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and to tell your friends. We find that this nerdy shit is better when it's shared.
We'll see you next episode for Criminally Insane. In the meantime,
Believe boldly.
Seek truth.
ship proudly.
X-Trex is created and written by Stella Cheeks, Erin Cline, and Bobby Hoffman, and produced by Bobby Hoffman for NYD Productions. Our show theme is Alien Spy by Ionix, and our show art was made by Jonathan Curtis.